Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the October 5th, 2020 GEG Kentucky monthly meeting. I am David Allen. Go ahead there. I am one of the certified Google trainers and one of the co-leaders of GEG Kentucky.
I am Monica Wainscott. I'm the other co-leader for GEG Kentucky, and I'm from Beechwood, and I am also a Google certified trainer.
I'm Jason Reed. I'm from Marshall County Schools, and I'm also a Google certified trainer.
I'm Lauren Rata. I'm a digital learning coach in Oldham County, and I'm also a Google certified trainer.
Hi, I'm Kelly Fisher. I'm also a district digital learning coach for Fayette County Public Schools, and I'm also a Google certified trainer. Welcome.
And then one of our trainers is not here, Sarah. So hopefully she'll be joining us next month.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So here are our group links. We also have a link in the chat to get to our bit.ly of slides this month. So we would love for you to join us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, visit our website where we will post our resources, follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group. And join our Google group. And you can ask questions in any of those formats, whichever one you're most comfortable with. And it's a great way to reach out, network with other teachers, and ask any kind of Google questions you have for your classroom. So we're going to bring Lauren on, and she is going to talk about some of the updates this month. And if you have any questions, we do have a back channel document, GEG Kentucky questions and answers. Feel free to hop on there, either if you're live with us today or if you get on later and watch the presentation. If you have any questions, put them on there, and someone will get in and answer questions later. So always feel free to ask questions, and we're happy to answer those anytime. So Lauren, you want to tell us about the updates?
Absolutely. Let me share my screen here. All right. And so I just wanted to update you all on some Google Suite updates. And these are from our September 14th meeting until now, October 5th. And just to kind of give you some background information, where these came from, if at any time you want to go to and check them out yourself, the G Suite update blog, I'm going to click on this so that you can see it. What I really enjoy about this platform, like I shared last month, is that each post informs you on what's changing. It tells you the timelines for release. So it'll tell you exactly when Google releases it, and then also how many days you might expect to see it to pop up in your domain. It talks to you about who is impacted. So whether it's a classroom teacher or a technology coach or someone in the Google admin console, it gives you that role. It talks to you a little bit about why you'd use it. Telling you additional details, as well as it talks to you about the availability per device, which is helpful because I know that devices look different in different districts, and then also gives you additional resources. I also really enjoy, you might see here on the right side, that you can even filter it. So you can filter it if you want to by, if you just want to know specifically within Data Studio, what are all the new updates, or within Chrome, within Docs. And so you can go through each application specifically. As well as I like to go to by month. And so by date, you can click on specific months. So right now, if we're in October, if you want to see all the October updates, it tells you in that order by date, all the new updates as well. So you don't have to always wait for us. We love to share them with you, but you can also go on there yourself. So let's look at September. So from that 14th on, you may have noticed within your domain, if you are a frequent user of Google Meets, that there are a ton of new updates. And so all of these are hyperlinked here on our slides that you can get to so that you can read more information about them. But just a few that I'd like to highlight, and as well as I will show you physically within Google Meet here in a minute. Well, first we have those chat moderators. So you can decide who you want or when you want people to chat or not be able to chat. What I really like about that is that even if you turn it off as the actual creator of the Meet, you can still send links to your participants. So that is helpful. So even though you're turning it off, you can still share things, which I find helpful as well. You can turn off or disable screen sharing as well as other access like quick access is there as well. And I will show you that all within the shield here in a moment. Some other updates you might want to know about are with Google Docs. They're now changing the line spacing based on font. So that helps with those length requirements. New looks for Google Meet on all mobile apps. So you may have noticed if you have that app and sometimes you participate via mobile device, you may have noticed it does look a little bit different. All the same features and functions are there. They're just at different places on the screen. Something I've noticed is every time it seems like I get into my Drive, it gives me that little reminder that now when you trash items within your Google Drive, it will auto delete after 30 days. And so make sure that if you delete something, you are very sure it doesn't just hang out there for a long time till you permanently remove it. It will delete after 30 days. Another cool feature of Google Meet that I'll show you here in a minute is that new blur background. You may find that helpful, whether you're in a space, maybe or an environment where you don't typically want to show your background, or for students as well, if they're at home and they don't feel comfortable, you can blur it. Just be aware though, that works in the Chrome browser only. So that is not yet available on a Chromebook or on the mobile app. But I will show you that from my actual laptop here in a moment so you can see what that looks like, as well as the tiled view. I know a lot of us were downloading different extensions, especially ones like Grid View. Those can now be removed from your Chrome because you have that option now right there within Google Meet. I'm also finding that if you have too many extensions download that no longer connected and work, they also are bogging down my meets. And so you might want to remove those if you're not using them any longer because we have that tiled view. Some more updates. September was chocked full of updates. So we have another slide even. Folder sharing and shared drives. This one is a lifesaver for me. A lot of times I would have a shared drive for confidentiality with colleagues, but I wanted to maybe just share one file or one folder within there with someone, but I didn't necessarily want to add them to that shared drive. Now they are enabling you to just share a specific folder within there. And it does not give that person though rights to everything within the shared drive. So check that out. Another cool feature added to Google Meet is Jamboard integration. I know some of us have been using that Jamboard interactive whiteboard for a while now, but now Google has integrated naturally within Meet so that you can pull that up, and I'll show you how you can naturally use that within your meetings with students or even with teachers or parents here in just a moment. Citations in Google Docs. I'm so glad they added this. So now I wish I had this though when I was back in college. I spent a ton of time, I felt like always getting out my little handbook and trying to figure out all the correct citations instead of being able to focus on my actual content in my paper. Now, there within Google Docs, you can go and you can add those citations, whether it's MLA, APA, all right there within Google Docs. So check that out. Dart theme now is available for iOS. It's been on Android for a while, so I'm glad that they've got that up to date. As well as coming soon, Google Meet attendance reports, and that is for enterprise. And so you may see that roll out if your district pays for enterprise. You might have that new Meet attendance, and even the breakout feature is going to be coming soon, but those are paid subscriptions. Now Google Meet within the mobile device auto filters those background noise. That has been something within our actual web browser built in for a while now, but now it's also on the mobile device, which can be helpful. So if you have that dog barking or that child in the background or the TV, it does naturally filter that out so that they can hear your voice as a participant. Another great tool now in Google Sheets, they're calling it Smart Cleanup Features. And so there are two new tools that help you with your productivity within Google Sheets. The first one kind of reminds me of a spell check, but for data in Docs. So it kind of gives you suggestions on your data to make it more efficient, as well as the second tool also will help you clean it up as well by kind of finding data that looks repetitive, and it will remove it or replace it as well. So check out those new smart cleanup features. Another just quick reminder, it is October 5th. So if you are someone that was loving and enjoying that free enterprise, just remember that some of those tools ended on September 30th. And so now if you are interested in some of those features, that is something that your district or your school will have to pay for. But you'll notice a lot of those features have stayed. So just kind of think about which one of those are must-haves and if that's something you need to purchase. Now for October, though, we have a few updates here in that first 5 days. First, if you are someone who used tasks in Gmail, it is now in Google Calendar mobile apps as well. So look for that integration, as well as the new tool within Google Docs called Comparing Documents. You may have noticed that up there within your toolbar lately. And so how that works is you're able to take two different docs. So when you're on one doc, when you go and go to those features and to compare them, it'll allow you to select a second doc that's within your drive and to compare them. And then it creates a third Google Doc that kind of shows the differences and those suggested edits. So check that out to see how you might be able to integrate that into your instruction. And then coming soon, I kind of mentioned this already. If you are someone who is using Google Meets, you'll be happy to know that the Q&A and polls will roll out beginning on the 8th. So that's in 3 days. And then it might take up to 15 days to see it there within your domain. So look for that. That is still something that will be free though. It's not in the enterprise. Hand raising is still coming soon, hopefully later this month or maybe into November. As well as you might notice right now, we still have those premium recordings, but anytime now Google is going to change those over to what they call temporary recordings, where it'll be a link that expires after 30 days. And so that will then become a premium feature, as well as the breakout rooms in attendance will be available here soon and that is also an enterprise paid customers tool. And so something I want to show you really quickly you're probably wondering, free updates or not. So what is out right now? We have this little graphic, and I got this from a great seminar called Get Mod with Meets Moderation Tools from Google Education. And so here are some of those features that came out this month. And as you can see so far, all of those are still free. And so that is something that I thought was very helpful to see for me. So hopefully you like that graphic as well, if you're kind of wondering that. And hopefully next month, I'll have another infographic to share with you to kind of talk to you about the new features that came out in late September and October. And then if they are something free through G Suite or that enterprise for education that will be a paid cost. Also, I want to go back over this great graphic by Matthew that he shared with us from Jessamine County Schools. And as you can see, I kind of thought it was funny because this is from a Google blog, but you may have noticed that the order in which Google shared they would come out didn't necessarily always line up to what they said. For an example, here in October, it said that blur or replace backgrounds would be in October, but we got that actually in September. So you may find that some of the information that has been shared is come out late, but some of it has been a surprise and it's been early. And so I'm going to go ahead and go in a new tab, and I want to show you some of those Google Meet features that I have currently in my domain. And hopefully either you have them soon or you might already have them and you just didn't know it. And so when I come here to my startup menu, you can already turn that background blur on from here if you'd like, but I'm going to join and show you another place to find it. And so first down here in my host controls is what they call those, you will find some great tools like quick access. And what I like about quick access is if it's turned off, then everyone who isn't invited, as it says, must ask to join, including people in your organization. So if you're having trouble maybe with students sharing the nickname or codes or links, I would turn this off because then everyone who tries to join, you have to accept them. That also helps with that dial-in feature. I know that some districts were having some issues with that, with people dialing in. And so now they also have to be accepted. If you don't recognize that phone number, you don't have to let them in. Also, you have other controls you can swipe on or off here, like sharing their screen if you want them to be able to present or not, as well as those chat messages. And when we talked about this, this could just be a quick classroom management strategy. Best practice is, I would say, to leave it on. But at times, if just like you say, okay, kids, for just 5 minutes, let's not raise our hands and let me get through instruction. You could turn that off. And when you turn it off, although they can't chat, you can still send out links through the chat. So those are those host controls. Also down here through the skinny snowman, you have a few extra options. Since I am on a device and I also have a Chromecast, you'll notice that I could cast this meeting if I wanted to a larger screen. That is an update, I believe, from August. Whiteboard, here's my jam that just came up for me on Friday. And so how this works is when you open it up, it's going to ask you, do you want to start a brand new whiteboard or do you want to choose one from your drive? That's super helpful to me because sometimes you might have a template or something already made in your Jamboard account and you want to use that in your Meet instead of starting a new one. So you can choose. And then when you click on it, you'll notice it'll create it and it will pop up here on your screen. It also uses the nickname as the name, and you can start modeling from here and you have many tools. You can also check those share settings from here if you want to as well. So that's helpful. And even though you couldn't see it because no one is in here, usually when you click on, if there are participants, so I would click on this whiteboard after all of your students have joined. And the reason why I would do that is because after your students have joined and you click this, it naturally puts all of their names in there and automatically shares it with them. Also, what's helpful with that is it posts here. As you can see, I did not type this in. It says I shared a jam file with this meeting, and it even gives the link here for them to click to easily get to it. So if someone joins after you've started that jam file, it is important that as an educator that you go back and you repost that link to those late joiners so that they can also have access to that jam. That is something I found with kind of playing around with it in the last few days. So that is Jamboard there. And then also here within layout, I wanted to show you now that tiled view. When I click on my tiled, as you can see, I can drag that all the way up to see 49 participants. So that is something new. So you may not need those extra extensions anymore. And last but not least, what I wanted to show you is that background blur is right in here. And even though my screen was kind of blurry already, as you can see now, it automatically recognizes that AI you, and then now your background is back to blur. So it's not as distracting. You can turn it off there. So I will end this now, my meeting, and we'll get back to the slides. And so I will leave it to Jason next because he's going to talk to you a little bit more about Jamboard.
Okay, Jamboard is one of my favorite Google tools, but I feel like it is almost the lost Google tool. Every time I introduce that to a teacher, most of my staff has never heard of Jamboard or didn't know it existed. So what I wanted to do here, since that's coming now to be integrated with Google Meet, I just wanted to share Jamboard training that either you could use personally or you could use with your staff if you're a coach. So this link right here will just open a separate slideshow and walks through kind of the basics of Google Jamboard, has video tutorials for each item. So if you want to start, shows you on a quick video how to create a Jamboard, shows you all of the different tools, how to add text to your Jamboard, how to insert your images. Everything you could want to know about a Jamboard is here in a video tutorial, less than 2 minutes for each topic. So it's very easy to find exactly what you need. So if that training or that resource is useful, please feel free to use that personally or with your staff. I know I love Jamboard. I have been tutoring a lot of Algebra 2 because I have a niece that's doing Algebra 2 distance learning on Play-Doh. So we get on Jamboard often, and I'll write out a question and she'll be doing her work, and I can come back and highlight where she messed up. She loves that. But Jamboard is super useful in a distance learning format, and I feel like teachers really need to get that news and see what that can do for them in our situation right now. So that is my Jamboard training. Next, totally changing the topic. This does not have to do with Jamboard or Meet, but every month we try to give you a free Google gift. And so this is my Google gift this month to you. What I have created is a tool that will help your case managers to create the forms and sheets that they will need to monitor IEP and 504 data. So when I was in the classroom, I would always get, because this is how old I am, I would get a piece of paper that was a grid where I was to monitor the different performances on different goals. But then, of course, that data is confidential, so I couldn't leave that sheet or that grid on my desk where I would see it. I had to hide it from myself. Then I would forget to fill it out. Don't tell anybody. And then once I did fill it out, then the case manager had to spend a weekend putting together all that data and making charts and graphs. And so I always felt like that was something that needed improvement, that flow of that workflow for monitoring. So what I have done is I created basically a spreadsheet, and you'll see on this very top part, this piece right here is what you will see when you open the tool. You just type in the student's name. You can type in what your goals are for that student. You type in how people will rate those goals. Is it yes, no? Is there, are there shades of gray there? Partially they met it, totally met it. You can type in the teacher emails that will monitor those goals. You can even type in someone who would need access to the data besides you. So if you need to share it with your principal or whoever would need access to that data. And in this spreadsheet, once you enter those items and press create form, it will ask you for permission to create the things on your drive, and you'll have to say yes the first time. And it will think for a minute, and it will create the form for you. So with all the questions already populated, all the settings exactly the way you need them. It will also create this, of course, the spreadsheet. In the spreadsheet, it will build pivot tables for each goal so that you have everything lined out by percentages. It will create the chart for each goal, and that way you don't have to spend your weekend doing that with paper and pencil. And it will even create a calendar reminder for all of these teachers that you entered with a link to that Google form. So those teachers oftentimes say, oh, I lost my sheet, or I lost my grid. There's no losing it because that link will be there on their Google Calendar. Now, if they're not a Google Calendar user, I also have a video that will show them how to sign up for an email reminder to fill out that form every single day. So you have a lot of different options here. And this, I think, will be a huge time saver for my 504 monitoring case managers. Love this because they don't have to make that form, make the sheet, make the graphs, make the reminders, and then come do it again for a different student. They just kind of type it in, press a button, type in a new set, press a button, and it does all of that for them. So I think that will be a lifesaver for your case managers as they're monitoring those goals. On the next slide here, that's where we have the click here. If you click here, that will say, would you like to make a copy of this document? You will say sure. And then it will pull up that spreadsheet with the create form button, and you'll be ready to roll. You only need one of these files on your Google Drive because you can just reuse it. So it comes with a video tour, comes with video tutorial that you can share to your teachers on how to get email reminders for their Google Calendar invites. And then you have some tabs down here at the bottom where you would start to fill out your data, press that button, create all of your forms. Once you have created one, it clears all of this back out, so then you can just do it again for however many students that you need. So that's just one Google gift that I had put together for the teachers and students in my district. I thought I would share with you guys this month. And that is all for my slides.
Okay. Since we introduced Bitmoji classrooms to everyone back in our August meeting, we have loved seeing all of the different examples. And Sarah, our co-leader, has taken the idea of a Bitmoji classroom to a new extreme. And she's sharing with you today a Bitmoji school or a Bitmoji hall. So go ahead and take a look at this amazing example. All of the teachers in her middle school created their Bitmojis and put them in a hallway. And each door, when you click on or knock on each door, it would take the students into the Google Meet or the virtual classroom. So I just want to warn you, if you do decide to do this, if you link it to your Google Meet, not to publish this on a public-facing website, because we don't just want anyone to join, so we want to keep those permissions locked down. You could use this in so many different ways. Imagine the doors could lead to your virtual classroom or to your website or to your bio. So many amazing ideas that you could use with this. And if you click on the red icon in the middle that says template link, Sarah has a template there for you so that you can create your own Bitmoji hall. So we hope you will check that out, create your own, and continue sharing those with us through Twitter or through our Facebook group. just another Google gift.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kelly. As we've said in the beginning, we are all Google certified, Google for Education certified trainers. And I know we've talked about getting level 1 certified and level 2 certified, but we wanted to talk to you this month a little bit about becoming a trainer. I've been a trainer for about 3.5 years. And honestly, it has been one of the best things that I feel like I did for myself and for my district. I have found it to be extremely beneficial. I love the community of being a Google for Education certified trainer. And the process to get there is really not as daunting as people think it is. Once you get your level 1 and your level 2 certification, then you have to do a trainer skills assessment, which is just a $15 skills assessment test. And then you would submit a video of how you would basically benefit people from being a Google certified trainer. And the reason that I really like this is the benefits that come along with it. The community of people that you get to meet and share resources with. I mean, we listened to Lauren and Jason and Kelly give us some things that we could use. That's just kind of the tip of the iceberg of some of the things that this group can offer you. You know, the knowledge base. Like if I have a question, I email the group and they email me right back, and it really helps. There's some already created resources that you can use. There are some professional development opportunities. May is the owner of the Google for Education Certified Trainer Group, and she is amazing to work with. She's very helpful and supportive of all of the trainers. And I really think that if you're interested in that, if you are a Kentucky digital learning coach, or if you work in your school and you're interested in becoming a certified trainer, it really is worth looking into. There are also some great little perks, you know, like some free upgrades to certain programs or things that we use that are really nice to have as a trainer. It's nice to have those upgraded programs that we can use as well. But once you make your application video and you submit it, there's like a 4 to 6 week rolling application window. And so you need to make sure that to keep your trainer certification once you're accepted into the program, because it is an application. Once you're accepted, you need to kind of keep up with those Google updates, and then you only need to complete 12 trainings a year to maintain your trainer certification. And I know that if you're working in like a digital learning coach capacity, we sometimes do hundreds of these. You know, we do a lot of different kinds of trainings for teachers, and it's just a really natural thing that we can fit in and do for ourselves. But reach out to us if you have any questions. I really think that it is something that if you've thought about it and you've done level 1 and level 2, it's really worth looking into to see what it would require to become a Google certified trainer. So reach out if you have any questions. I know I've loved it, and I've loved the community that we have in the trainer group. So if you have questions, we are all trainers, and we would love to answer any of the questions you have.
I agree, Monica, and I think part of becoming a trainer is this continued learning, and we're doing that through this GEG group, and we're also doing it through all of these upcoming events. So I hope you will bookmark this slide deck, and especially this page. All of these are also listed on our GEG Kentucky website in the Google Calendar as well. I just wanted to point out a few of these to you. The first two are specific to Google. The first one, the G Suite and G Suite Enterprise for Education Training. This series is phenomenal. I love it because it's not just how do I use a Google Doc or how do I use a Google Slide, but it's all about the pedagogy and how you can use all of these amazing tools to enhance your learning. So I hope you will check these out. When you register for them, you get a link to the live training, and you can also receive the recording so that you can go back and watch it on your own. The global GEG resources are phenomenal. They are trainers just like us, but not just from Kentucky, from all over the world. And I do mean the world. You'll notice that some of these sessions will start at 6 o'clock in the morning, or some will start at 9 o'clock at night, just depending on where the trainer is located. The sessions that are upcoming are amazing, and I hope you will check them out. You can also check out past resources if you are interested in doing level 1 or level 2 that will prepare you to become a Google trainer. So please check these out. We will keep tweeting about them and putting them on our Facebook site as well. The next 3, I attend all 3 of these conferences every single year, and they re-energize me and they teach so much. So I hope you will take advantage of them. The first, FETC, or the Future of Education for Technology, it's usually in Orlando, but this year it's going to be virtual. But the good news is this year it's free, absolutely free. So go ahead and register for that now. Put it on your calendar. You will see EdTech stars from all over the world. You might even see a few of us there as well. Wink, wink. And so we hope you will register for that. TCEA, which is the Texas Computer Education Association, is another great conference. And this year, you don't have to travel all the way to Texas, although we wish we could, but it is hybrid. And the last one is the Ohio Educational Technology Conference. And you know what? This is phenomenal. I have to shout out Eric Kurtz, and there are just so many amazing presenters there as well. So right now, it is going to be virtual, but if you will click on this survey, they are in the planning stages. And so I think you will enjoy that as well. So again, go ahead and mark all these off on your calendar right now and make sure to check out the global GEG resources. We will be offering our own training soon too. So make sure to, in the back channel chat or even on the YouTube chat, let us know what you are interested in learning more about as we prepare to get those started. And I feel like, okay, are we all back? Yeah. So
I think we're all back.
Yeah, good.
So join us for our next monthly meeting, which will be November the 2nd at 4:30. Check our website out, the bit.ly.GEG Kentucky, for upcoming agenda links. Please, subscribe. Let us know what you want us to present. What do you need for your classroom? We were happy to do whatever you all need. So just let us know.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. See you next month.